Okay, welcome back, everybody. We are reconvening back into open session at 9:34. And is anyone prepared to make a motion? Council President?
I move to approve the settlement agreement and release as discussed in executive session.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any council discussion? Not seeing any. The motion before us is to approve the settlement agreement and release as discussed in executive session. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That carries 6-0. I'm going to go back for a little good of the order check-in. I think Councilmember Mertz has something to share, and I have one additional item to share.
So we earlier sent out a copy of the Eastside Fire and Rescue draft 2024 legislative agenda in the hopes that might have some feedback on it. There's a section on PFAS, supporting basically state activities around addressing PFAS, wildland fire mitigation and response, always important in a city that's on a wildland urban interface area, EMS and general healthcare system coordination. This is an ongoing issue where there is at times a real challenge of getting EMS people and patients booked into hospitals. It can take hours. So this is efforts to coordinate that and reduce the downtime. Lithium-ion batteries, efforts to address them, including potentially car fires, which require 5 or 6 times as much water to put out as a standard car fire. Funding for the state fire marshal's office, which is around education on a number of these issues, and then supporting limiting the number of TIF areas that can impact a taxing district, limiting fire district RFA 20% AV threshold to require mitigation. So these are just financing related issues that impact state level fire issues that potentially impact. So the question I have is do we have any potential additions or subtractions or issues with that agenda, or can I go back and say that this agenda has the support of the Barb?
I'll just mention that at the National League of Cities that they had a presentation on lithium-ion batteries and said that every city in the country should be paying attention to this issue because it really is a serious problem. And they demonstrated it with a video that was taken as one of these exploded. So yeah, I think it's great that we're focusing in on that. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilmember Joe.
Councilmember Martz, could you tell me a little bit more about the wildland issue? Is that what we typically call WUI, Wildland Urban Interface, and the state board state code people taking a look at that right now?
Yeah, the details, it is, as you say, the details is seek the renewal of authorizing language to use the fire service mobilization account for pre-positioning of resources. So evidently that's something that has to be authorized at the state level, but certainly we have, as a resident of Squaw Mountain, I'm keenly aware, as I know you are, of concerns around this area. Working with stakeholders to identify unprotected lands and strategies for protection, support legislation and increasing funding for wildland urban interface fire prevention methods and forest health management practices. And of course, we have challenges in Issaquah because so much of our urban interface areas on Squawk and Cougar and Tiger are critical slope. So, I have a property, I can't create a 30-foot barrier, 30-foot buffer around my house. It would destabilize the hillside. So,
right. Yeah.
But there are efforts that can be done, and I think that thus far, some of those have been not as well funded as they would like. So they'd like state funds for that.
Okay, and I think one of my concerns is the costs that'll be added to building new construction can be quite significant as well. And when we're looking at a housing crisis or a shortage of housing, we're just increasing the price yet again with another layer of regulation. So I'll be watching that and look forward to your reports. Thank you.
And I will share that concern in my report, because I understand that. Yeah, but that is, I believe that is not the intent here. So, thank you. Are there any other feedback?
Well, just that there isn't a ton of housing at the wildland urban interface either. So where we need it, we need it. Where we don't, we don't. I had one more thing. Are you done?
I'm done,
Councilor
thank you.
Okay, I just wanted to remind the council, I think you received the invitation today. Mayor Safiani of Shashawan, Morocco, and the Washington Moroccan Association and the Muslim Association of Puget Sound are all working together on a fundraiser December 2nd at the Issaquah Pickering Barn. Please share that invitation as far and wide as you can. There's lots of different ways to donate. This is one of 3 projects the city's participating in with our sister city. And please RSVP if you got the invitation. There is no cost. We want to make sure we get our first assistance project going. So December 2nd, coming soon. Anybody else have any additional good of the order they want to add? Okay, well, thank you. This is one of our longer meetings, and there being no further business tonight, we are adjourned at 9:40. Thanks.